Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch. The dusty ridges of eastern Utah conceal secrets more ancient and peculiar than most would believe. Blind Frog Ranch, nestled deep in Uintah County near the more famous Skinwalker Ranch, has long held a reputation for unexplainable phenomena. But among the many accounts of strange lights, magnetic anomalies, and inexplicable machinery buried in rock, one discovery stands apart in both intrigue and historical weight: the finding of a gold ingot inside a hidden cave deep beneath the Earth's surface. The discovery occurred during the ranch's most ambitious excavation yet. Duane Ollinger, the ranch's owner and former Texas oilman, had purchased the property after reports of unusual mineral readings and rumors of a buried treasure. Since acquiring the land, he and his team had pursued increasingly elaborate explorations, seeking answers buried in its sediment, guided by science, local legend, and a growing sense of something uncanny lying just out of reach. Over several seasons of digging, a labyrinthine network of natural caverns had slowly revealed itself beneath the surface of the ranch. These caves were not easily accessible. Many were waterlogged, narrow, or blocked by cave-ins that required weeks of manual excavation. Deep within one of the least accessible branches, a collapsed section of tunnel hinted at an unnatural obstruction. Rock debris suggested it had been deliberately sealed. Mud caked around fitted stones, unlike the surrounding natural sediment. Breaking through took several days and cautious effort, given the unstable nature of the tunnel system. When the barrier gave way, a narrow chamber appeared. The walls glistened faintly, not with moisture, but with a mineral sheen, thin layers of oxidized metal embedded in the rock. At the far end of this chamber sat an unassuming stone slab. Beneath it, carefully hidden in a hollowed-out alcove, rested the gold ingot. Though it was tarnished by time and oxidization, the bar's weight and unmistakable luster identified it as authentic gold. Initial estimates placed its weight near 16 pounds, just over 7 kilograms, and its composition appeared to be high-purity bullion, not raw ore, but processed metal. That detail alone sent ripples through the team. The ingot wasn't naturally occurring. It had been refined, possibly even minted, long before it ended up in that cave. More startling were the markings. Faint, shallow inscriptions ran across one face of the bar. They didn't match modern stamps or recognizable mint marks. Instead, the engravings appeared to be a mixture of symbols, some resembling early Spanish scripts, others entirely unfamiliar, geometric and ancient in form. Analysis of these markings would later suggest a hybrid origin, possibly coded or symbolic, beyond mere identification or ownership. The implications were staggering. If Spanish in origin, the ingot could date back to the 16th or 17th century, potentially linked to the lost mines of the conquistadors or the fabled Aztec gold hidden in the southwest. If older or from a different culture, it could point to a civilization or explorer presence not yet accounted for in mainstream history. Either way, someone had gone to considerable lengths to hide it, beneath a collapsed cave, sealed behind a man-made wall, in one of the most remote corners of the region. The team's discovery raised more questions than it answered. Why hide a single gold bar in such a place? Was it part of a larger catch? If so, where was the rest? Was it meant to be found? Or was it a decoy, a warning, or a piece of a puzzle left behind by a group who never returned? Blind Frog Ranch had already been a nexus of unexplained energy readings. Instruments had previously detected electromagnetic fluctuations that disrupted GPS systems and even caused machinery to fail without warning. One particularly strange aspect of the cave where the gold was found was the sudden drop in temperature and electronic interference experienced upon entering. Cameras malfunctioned, batteries drained rapidly, and communication with the surface became patchy. The gold bar seemed to sit at the heart of a magnetic anomaly, almost as if it were a focal point for the strange energies of the ranch. Locals in the surrounding areas were unsurprised. Many spoke of old tribal stories that warned of guarded places beneath the land, sacred chambers sealed by time and protected by forces not easily defined. While the Ute and Navajo tribes avoided certain regions around the ranch, stories persisted of underground cities, star people, and ancient beings who once lived below the earth. Whether the gold was theirs, or placed there by those who feared or revered them, was impossible to say. Geologically, the cave system revealed something equally perplexing. Should not have formed rock in that specific region or elevation were identified. Fossils of marine creatures appeared in places they should not have been. Traces of mercury and other metals in unnatural concentrations were found near the chamber, as though the cave had been part of some forgotten mining operation or metallurgical workshop. But no records of such operations exist. There are no known maps, claims, or historical documents that mention any such site in that part of Utah. Theories began to spiral. One hypothesis suggested that the Ingot might be part of the so-called Aztec gold route, with ancient travelers using the cave as a waypoint. Another posited the influence of a secret society, Masons, Templars, or an even older order, who might have hidden sacred or valuable artifacts in deliberately remote and obscure locations to protect them from colonial powers. A third theory, more esoteric in nature, linked the Ingot to extraterrestrial involvement, referencing the cave's energy anomalies and its alignment with certain constellations on ancient sky maps. What made the Ingot unique wasn't just its age or the mystery of its concealment. It was the sensation it sparked, that the earth itself was speaking, slowly and reluctantly, revealing one layer of a buried truth. A single bar of gold was not merely treasure. It was a message carved in metal, coded in location, time, and context. The find drew the attention of historians, geologists, and treasure hunters alike. But Blind Frog Ranch had never operated like a typical archaeological site. Duane and his team continued to explore, driven as much by instinct as by science, pushing deeper into the earth, following symbols carved into stone, magnetic anomalies, and the whispers of legend. Weeks after the Ingot was found, another chamber was uncovered, not directly connected, but aligned with the cave via a natural fault line. Inside, strange metal rods protruded from the rock, arranged in non-random formations, possibly meant to conduct or repel energy. Though no further gold was found immediately, the pattern suggested a system, deliberate, designed, and partially mapped in the carvings discovered near the original Ingot. The mystery of the gold ingot has not yet unraveled. It stands as both artifact and riddle, a fragment of a larger design that seems to extend beneath the ranch and beyond the grasp of current understanding. More than just a shiny relic of forgotten wealth, it is a touchstone, a point where myth, geology, history, and the paranormal intersect. In the months following the discovery, speculation only intensified. Independent investigators brought in advanced imaging and ground-penetrating radar. One team claimed to have found a massive void, possibly a man-made chamber, beneath the eastern ridge of the ranch. Efforts to reach it were hampered by flooding, sudden cave-ins, and repeated interference with electronic equipment, events disturbingly similar to the conditions surrounding the original Ingot chamber. Whether the gold ingot is a lost remnant of Spanish colonists, a sacred artifact hidden from imperial hands, or something far older and stranger, it has become a symbol of Blind Frog Ranch itself, enigmatic, magnetic, layered with secrets. The land does not give up its truths easily. But with each new discovery, be it a metallic anomaly, a stone engraving, or a single bar of gold. The deeper story inches closer to the surface.